This week we are surrounded by Eagle class. They wanted a live version of the story, and we're going to read The Stone Age Boy because we've been learning about it in English but didn't get to finish reading it. Okay. An amazing thing once happened to me. I was wandering in the woods when I tripped and found myself falling down, down, down. When I woke up, I was in a cold, dark place. I could see daylight in the distance as I stumbled towards it. Outside, everything was different. I realised I was lost, completely lost, so I walked and walked and walked. Then, to my relief, I saw someone, a girl. She was about my age, but she didn't look like any of the girls I knew. And I don't think I looked like any of the boys she knew. She took me home to meet her family, and what a family it was. They looked very strange, but they were kind to me and gave me some stew. I couldn't understand anything they were saying, though I worked out my new friend's name was Om. Then I must have fallen asleep. The next morning, Om showed me around the camp. Everyone seemed busy and had a job to do. Over the next few days, I saw so much I'd never seen before. Om's people had no knives and forks, no plastic, no metal even. Everything they had was made of wood, stone, animal skins or bone. I saw them... ... making fire. By striking flintstones together or turning a wooden drill, fire is used for cooking to keep warm and sometimes to scare animals. Making tools by flint knapping. The flints are chipped, trimmed and sharpened and then made into knives, spearheads and scrapers for cleaning animal skins. I had a go, but it was very difficult. Using tools. Tools are used to make wood, antlers and bones into bowls, spears and ornaments. Cutting out a slice of bone, sharpen it on grindstone, piercing the hole is the sewing needle. Using a throwing stick, you can throw a spear faster and further. Preparing and using animal skins. Skinning the deer, scraping the hide, drying it, cutting it, piercing holes, sewing it together. Preparing and cooking food. Cooking meat, drying meat, smoking meat, drying fish, boiling soup by putting a red hot stone into a leather bag and grilling meat. There we go. Just all the many things that they do with their day. It is a lot. One afternoon we went to the river. The little ones picked berries and nuts, but Om and I watched the men fishing. They held their pointed spears high and stood as tall as trees. Then suddenly, swish, their spears dropped like lightning and came up again, spiking, wriggling silverfish. Here you can tell me the two similes that were in that. Two Adelise?
Spiking fish.
Yep, so they down like lightning and coming up and spiking, wriggling silverfish. Yep, that is one of them. Can you remember the other one?
Standing up like a tree.
Stood as tall as the trees. Lovely, well done. Suddenly, thank you. Yep, there is. Yeah, alliteration for the whole sentence, and we got suddenly swoosh their spears. Lovely. Suddenly, a boy ran up, shouting and pointing to the hills. At once, several people grabbed their spears and followed him. Om and I followed them. Slowly, slowly, we crept forwards until we saw a reindeer. It was standing alone, munching the grass. At a signal, the others ran towards it, yelling and throwing their spears. Om and I didn't have spears, but we yelled anyway. It was so exciting. A spear caught the reindeer in its side and it fell to the ground. That night we had a party to celebrate. We cooked the reindeer over a great fire and there was music and dancing. I joined in on the air guitar. As the days became weeks, Om and her people taught me many things. I was very happy. Then one day, Om took me to a special place. We walked a long way until we came to the mouth of a cave. Om struck flintstones together to make fire. She lit a torch and we went in. Wow.
Whoa.
It took me a moment to realise the animals were only paintings. In the flickering light of a torch, they looked real, as if they were running all around us. On went over to the tools and paints the artist had left and began to draw. Suddenly, I saw something move in the darkness.
A bear.
Let's find out. It was a bear! A big, ferocious cave bear. I shouted at to run and turned to face the bear with my spear. I felt very small. Suddenly, the ground gave way and I found myself falling down, down, down.
Whoa! That's huge! Oh my god, he's really big.
When I woke up, the bear had gone. So had I rushed outside. Are we not talking, are we? When I woke up, the bear had gone. So had I rushed outside. The air felt different, warmer. I walked a long way calling for but I never found her. Instead, I found I was back home. When I told my family what happened, they didn't believe me. They said I'd only been gone a few hours and I must have fallen asleep and dreamt it. Years passed and I never forgot my friend I'm an archaeologist now. That's me, in the glasses. Everywhere I go, I look in the past for signs of and I never stop learning from her and her people. Was it a dream? Maybe. There he is, the archaeologist in the glasses.
I think he was
Still
just
grown up.
dreaming. I think it's probably.
Maybe not.
Maybe not that one.
There's
That's
a
a cave painting.
with him, yeah. Lovely. So thank you guys.